to organize and carry out project work in Karjalan?
Well, like this, I think my job is to kind of encourage the teachers to take part of the projects. And this was, we had one ICT project I don't remember the name. The name was kind of learning in VLAN. And I heard a rumor, and one guy who I met before in another project called me and, hey, do you want to come to London? Because there is a little, very big seminars and things about ICT in teaching. Okay, and I was there, and I met one principal from the other school, and we kind of shake hands that next year we're going to make a project about ICT in these schools in Riihimäki and in our city. And that was how we organized that thing. It's kind of a thing that I have to encourage teachers to take part of these projects. And this is the way how they usually start. And I do it a lot of with these projects, a lot of with teachers, and the other people I'm working with are principals, like usually the principals in upper secondary levels. And when we met in seminars, we kind of get together, and then we ask, hey, well, what about this? Are you interested in this kind of project? And so on, so one by one. Okay.
Next question about which kind of projects you have
at this moment.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe Bali project, ICT project, or other.
What was the first one?
Bali project.
Okay, yeah. That's one thing what we have had many years, and that's because our math teacher, Sakari, he's very interested in ballet. And we have had this project, it's called Classical Geometry in Classical Ballet, and we have had that something like 8 or 9 years already. We got a scholarship for that for the first years, but now it kind of carries on because it's we have been there so many times, so the ballet and opera, they don't charge us anything, so we can go there, like see the, how do you say, the last rehearsals before the first night. So it doesn't cost us anything, like just the bus to get there. Sometimes, like this autumn, we went there to not to see the rehearsal but the actual ballet, and of course that costs something, and the students are paying for it. It's really nice. That's one really nice project. But what other projects we have? Some of our teachers are very interested in phenomenon-based learning, and the project is called Power this year. And we got, it's kind of a, I don't know actually the money what we have, the funding is the Finnish e-learning center asked if you are still interested in this kind of project. It's about this phenomenon-based learning, and we have done that already 3 years in a row now, and well, I had to do the application, and we got the money for the project. It's about like our philosophy teacher Johannes would be better to tell it. He can tell it better, but the thing is like they are concentrating not in the school subjects like math, biology, history, not like that, but they are concentrating on the phenomenon, like in this case we have power. What does it mean what does it mean? What do you think about power? And these students are taking part of our normal classes, and they kind of they have a kind of a net in their mind, and they pick up, oh, religion. I think, what is power in religion? And they think about what can it be like that. What is power in history? What does it mean in art? And different kinds of things. And then the students, they gather the information from different subjects, and they put up, they make their own phenomenon, what they think is the power is about. Yeah. There's one girl, if you have seen downstairs in our school restaurant, she had painted 5 different, how do you say, paints? pictures.
Image.
Yeah. And they are about power. And how does it say in the Bible? How does they think in the book of Job? How they think about Bible? And he painted those 5 pictures by himself. That's one thing. That's very good. Good project because I think we have managed to get money for 3 years in a row now. And then we have 3 ICT projects. This one, 3. And I want to remind you, they are all from our National Board of Education. And I want to remind you that 2 out of 3 applications will be, denied. So only 1 out of 3 applications will be approved. And we have 3 of them at this time. So we have been very, very successful. I have, from these 3 applications, I did the first one.
3.
I did the first one by myself, just to get equipment devices to our school. And the other one was, like I told you just that we did with another principal from the other school in London. We shake hands and we have to make the application, and we did it in Google Drive. There was some kind of a format, and everybody was giving some ideas then, and we thought about how about budget and so on. And the third one is, I think, one of the biggest ICT projects in Finland. There are 36 different upper secondary schools. And there was one company called Tablet School, and they are kind of selling e-books for upper secondary school. And they kind of created that application, and they asked me if you are interested in coming to this project. I said, of course we are interested.
Yes,
So now we are in 3 projects. We are very, very lucky. It might be so that in next 4 or 5 years we won't get any project, but we have been very lucky now.
About last project, if they selling tablets, they give free tablets?
No, they are. It's called Tablet School. Is the name of the company, and they are selling e-books.
E-books. It's
For upper secondary students. They have, like the company Tablet Book. They have these books. They are selling. They are teachers who are making those books. And when we are in these projects, our teachers can use these iBooks for this first year. They are free for teachers and free for students. Next year, it's very expensive. The students have to pay about when they are buying books when they come to upper secondary school. So that's a good opportunity. Now they can use the books, and they don't have to pay anything, but only for the first year. Next year they have to pay something, but the books are still free for teachers. And I know now next year there will be, I think, teacher of religion and teacher of history. They will use the iBooks from Tablet School.
Maybe they will create.
It's possible also. It's possible also. I still have more. There was just a few of these projects. Then we have international projects. Okay. Because it's very important to our school, the internationality. It's very, very important. We have some like 550 students. If there's one group going to Spain, the teacher is going there with 20 students. So there is 330 students who can't get there. So we have to have many, many international projects.
For example, Hungary is St. Petersburg, and then Budapest, math teacher told before.
Yeah.
And who funding these projects?
We are trying to get the money from everywhere. Okay, like this year we didn't get the money to the Hungary projects. Well, the teachers to contact a Swedish Culture Foundation, and they promised to give us a little money to visit in Stockholm. So now the math teacher is taking the group to Stockholm instead of going to Hungary. The math camp in Hungary, it was really, really good, but we didn't. We actually tried to get. We made 3 different applications to get money for the Hungary, but we didn't succeed. But one way is again the National Board of Education, and but unfortunately, like I said, we have had those. We've been so successful that they have given us money for our projects. So if another school who hasn't had any international projects make an application, I understand the National Board of Education will give money to them. But they won't. But our school, when we are applying for project money, our application must be very, very good, better than the others, because they already have given us money. So our application must be better than anyone else's. So that's the way we get the money. And that's one way. And other way is to take part in Erasmus Plus projects. I think you also have that. I'm not sure. Erasmus Plus. It used to be like Comenius projects before. Have you heard of those? Those are in Erasmus Plus. Yeah. Those are like they are funding European schools and teachers and students to internationalize.
What's the
Pardon? It's CIMO in Finland. CIMO, CIMO is the Finnish national agency. But we are applying for these Erasmus Plus projects, and we applied for. There are two key actions there: key action 1 and key action 2. And key action 1 is applying for the kind of educating teachers. We applied money for 8 teachers to get abroad next year. But we will get the results in May. And we applied for Erasmus plus key action 2. It means like our students are kind of student mobilities in European countries. And we made 3 different applications. And I hope at least one of them will be approved. For example, we made a project with a chemistry teacher, Paula. And the other schools in this project are from Sweden, France and Greece. And the project we were applying for 3 years, and the total sum of money was something like 250,000 euros. And it means that every year 20 students from our school is going to somewhere, and there are 20 students from that school is coming to our school. Exchanges, yes.
I would like ask about applications.
Mm.
Can we familiarize how called these applications?
How
Call it names of these applications.
how are called? Yeah, okay. Like
applications that use it.
Applications.
Actually, I don't know. Actually, I don't know the names of, because there were other. If I talk about these international projects, the teachers were making those projects. I have only designed those projects.
Oh, okay.
The one was I worked with Paula, our chemistry teacher, was called Chemistry in Everyday Life. And we actually worked for some like more than 2 months to make that project. It was really hard work, because this was the first time they kind of changed the application form. So it was really, really tough to make it. Really tough. So I really hope we're gonna get it. So.
And
You were asking also the name of the ICT projects. We have this new way of learning, e-books, learning in internet. That was one, which was among these 36 different other secondary schools. Yeah. And this one where Alexi is working, it's kind of a digital teacher in the area of Hämeenlinna. Okay. And the third one was, which I made, was diverse learning in VLAN. Okay. Then we have this. I talk about this. We have this this a little more, not such a big projects are like we're having these. I told you earlier we're having these science clubs and language clubs and math clubs for primary and secondary school students, and actually the city of Hämeenlinna gets money for those clubs, which happens in school after the school day. In primary schools and secondary schools, they get money for that from National Board of Education. They have to apply and they get money, and then they divide all the schools and what they want. Okay, but when I heard about that, I said, hey, what about if our school is keeping those clubs for your students? They say, okay, why not? And then that's why we are involved in this project, so I can get money to pay for the teachers when they are having these science clubs and math clubs and so on.
Chemistry and physics teachers conduct this
Science club.
science club.
And teacher of biology and teacher of geography also is doing that. And there's a math teacher who was responsible about this math club this year. And I think there was something like more than 40 students in that club, and I think that's the most successful club in the whole city of Hämeenlinna. So it's really nice. Yeah, very popular.
And we heard about the Lapland project.
Yeah,
Physics.
yeah, we call it space weather.
Space weather.
Now they are going to Puerto Rico. I just paid the tickets yesterday, more than 20,000 euros. So that's yeah. And we have got money for this Space Weather Lapland project from National Board of Education for 3 years in a row. But I know, when they have given us money for 3 years, next year it will be very difficult to get the money. But then we are going to the next foundation. Hey, we have this kind of project. Is it possible that you will give some money for us, this project?
And about the foundation, after the visiting maybe Lapland, other countries, they write report and send to this company, or they didn't?
How you show results for government?
Yeah, we have to make a report, but it's usually like this. For example, this project what we have, this diverse learning in Bilan, it was a project for 2 years, and I have to make the report in the end of June. And sometimes it's more. It was a 2 years project, so only one report after 2 years. But I visited in kind of a teacher in training course in Spain a month ago. I was there 1 week, and the national agency said that you have to make the report in 1 month after the course. So I did that report last week. But sometimes these foundations, they don't need any report. But usually if we have this, our application has been approved in National Board of Education or this internationality, this CIMO, our national agency, they need reports, and they sometimes also, the report is not enough, but they take like, they will search some like 10% of the approved projects money. They will come to 10% of those projects. They will come and kind of search if everything is going okay. So they are searching like all the money, and I have to have these bills to show them.
Okay, what about, can you describe expansive, what is the funding system of project work in Finland, maybe in your school?
Okay, you mean how we get if we get the money for the projects, how we...
System,
yeah, okay. Sometimes if it's a foundation who gives money for us, so it's kind of free. We have made this application, and we can use the money as it has been said in the application. But if we are taking like these international projects in National Board of Education, it is so that they are giving us, like, for example, 10,000 euros, So they give only 60% of the project money, and we have to pay 40% by ourselves. So I have to report how much money we have used from our school budget and which money comes from the project money they have given to me. Okay, in these ICT projects in National Board of Education, I have to put 20% of the school money, and the National Board of the government is giving 80% of money.
It's so.
It differs
Right,
from
yeah.
and if we and why we are very interested in this Erasmus Plus project is that they give the money like 100%. So I don't have to put any money from our budget. That's why we are really trying to get those projects approved.
So this question: who is responsible for organizing project work? You choose teachers who are responsible.
Okay. But usually it goes like you talk about the ballet project. The teacher is so interested in the project, so he's coming to me. Is it possible that we can go there? And I say, okay, it's possible. So I won't say that you and you are responsible for this project. But usually there is a teacher who is very interested in it. So he is coming to me and asking, is it possible? Usually it goes like that, like this chemistry in everyday life. So if our chemistry teacher is not interested in it, so it's no use to make the project.
You can't force him.
Yeah, well, I could force, but there's no sense forcing. It must be like the teacher is interested. So this is the way we start the project.
In this case, how you motivate your teachers to create different projects?
It's all about
to get new ideas for project work.
How you inspire them?
Well, they are inspired. So it's kind of a very important thing is when I choose a new teacher in my school. It's not important so how good you are, what's your subject? ICT. So it's not important how good you are in ICT, because I know you have studied that for many years. Your skills are good enough to our school, for sure. But the main thing is, are you interested to many other things? Are you interested to maybe have you done any projects before? So it's very important when you recruit a new teacher. And that's why we have a kind of a habit, in our schools. All the teachers, many of them, no, I can't say all, but more than 80% of our teachers, they are very interested of these international and different international projects and every other project.
About students, if they're conducting maybe ballet project, all class students go to this show this ballet, or only volunteer?
Only volunteer. It used to be sealed because Sakari is our math teacher, is very interested in ballet. So usually it's so that he picks of those students who are studying math and physics. So they are the first to get to this project. But now we had the students gave feedback to our school, and they said that how come it's only math students who can get to the ballet? We want to go there too. And now Sakari came to me, it was a week ago. Well, I got there's a new ballet coming next autumn. Is it possible? When they were asking the students that they want to go there also. So can I arrange it? I said for sure. And actually I don't pay anything to Sakari about that. Well, he can see the ballet, he's very interested in it, and it's very important to our students. They are very young. How many of them has never been in ballet, so it's a very good opportunity for them to get the ballet with Sakari.